who really want to be. I love the double standard. Also, who want to be denial. So my man Raynard Jackson, big time Republican, texted me, telling me I should stop. He goes, stop complaining, y'all laws, suck it up, and be a man. First of all, last I checked, Raynard, the U.S. Constitution allows for me to have freedom of speech. And why can't I offer analysis of this election and actually what happened? See, before I get to the Electoral College thing, so Raynard made this comment about Trump won, he gonna do what he said. Illegals are gone, homosexual stuff gone, high taxes are gone, trade deals, refugees gone. Well, first of all, his comments about taxes was a lie. We don't have the highest corporate taxes in the world. That's a lie. Let me tell y'all what's gonna happen. All this stuff Trump say he gonna do, and then when he don't do, y'all know doggone well these folks gonna lose their mind when he don't do none of that stuff. He talked about South Korea, us spending all that money and everything. Guess what? He already called South Korean president. Oh, we all good. We good. We good. We good. We good. Everything good. Everything good. Y'all knew that was coming. Let's not sit here and play this game. Come on now. What the worst of President Obama? Come on, man. Let's just be real. It ain't gonna happen. Big business is locking, they are licking their lips, the Trump presidency. If y'all think Donald Trump ain't gonna be the greatest thing for big business, you done lost your mind. Ain't gonna happen. And then I'm telling you, just watch what happens. What, y'all actually think Trump is going to get rid of same-sex marriage? Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. And then watch what happens when Republicans try to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You know what's going to happen? A lot of them white folks who voted for Trump going to realize, oh my God, I had a pre-existing condition. I might lose my health care. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Oh Lord, what am I going to do? Okay, the question I'm posing, and this is based off of a Dan Abrams column. I saw this the other day, and I've had people call me. I've had numerous people call me and ask me this, and I don't think it's going to happen, but okay. And especially with Republicans being so focused on voter suppression, it ain't going to happen. Because they certainly endorse voter suppression. I mean, just straight up. Let's just be real. They do. They do. Trump won Wisconsin by 27,000 votes. Yo, 300,000 people did not have the ID required to register. They dragged their feet on issuing IDs. We saw voter suppression in Pennsylvania. We saw it in North Carolina. I mean, let's just not pretend that did not happen. That's exactly what happened. So, now, Raynard, I would love for you to tell me it didn't happen. But you know it did. Okay. All right. So, check this out. So, Dan Abrams, he owns Mediaite. He owns longtime journalist. So, you see him on ABC Good Morning America. This is what he wrote. As of right now, it looks like Hillary Clinton won the presidential election, at least in terms of votes cast. Yes, it seems that once all the votes are tabulated, more Americans will have voted for Clinton then for Donald Trump by roughly 200,000 votes. Now, that was early on. Let that marinate for a moment. To be clear, I am not suggesting that Trump didn't win fair and square. He did. And Donald Trump is and should be our president-elect, period. But now it's also high time to change the anachronistic electoral system for selecting a president. Imagine for a moment if the tables had been turned and Trump had won the popular vote but lost the election. I'm guessing that many of his supporters would have been far less forgiving about this little historical quirk in our voting system. Overt disdain and distrust for the rigged system would likely have been far more prevalent, rigged within quotation marks. And rightly so. Clinton supporters and Gore supporters, for that matter, and many in the media appear to be far more accepting, maybe because the numbers indicate Clinton voters were more highly educated and therefore may better appreciate the history behind the Electoral College. Fully, we should all be outraged, not because Donald Trump won, but because the majority of voters lost. After covering the 2000 election, I said the same thing, interestingly, as did Hillary Clinton, to mostly deaf ears, and was going to echo it here if this scenario played out on either side. Insert disbelief in comment section from those who refuse to believe anyone could have a principled rather than partisan view of this issue. Our Electoral College was implemented in part because, based on many founding fathers' distrust of uneducated common people, unquote, common people, unquote, voting for the president directly. The fear of direct democracy and what became dubbed, quote, the tyranny of the majority, unquote, drove them to devise a system to allow for individual input, but where ultimately state electors, or more accurately, quote, elites, had the final say in who took over the most important position in the land. One of many compromises between Federalists and Anti-Federalists enacted to ensure a unified republic, often at odds over how to best move forward as a nation, not to mention the fact that they needed to get the proposed Constitution ratified by the delegates and the states themselves. Regardless of the framers' noble intentions, these days, empowering state officials and party bosses while literally disenfranchising individual voters should be a historical footnote. In addition to smaller states having disproportionate representation, voters in what have become known as, quote, swing states end up with inequitable power and influence. In a nation that prides itself on its democratic principles, how do we justify a single vote from Pennsylvania becoming so much more valuable and important than one from neighboring New York or West Virginia? Abolishing the Electoral College would still allow smaller states to retain disproportionate influence just by having 2 senators out of 100, no matter how small or uninhabited that state happens to be. But this will be the 4th time, and 5th if you count the more fractured election of 1824, that the will of the people has been subverted in this country by the Electoral College. With today's technological advances, the various arguments for the electoral system become indefensible. It's time for us to agree that the system is rigged, not for a particular candidate, but in favor of voters in particular states. In the words of America's 45th president, let's make America great again by making all votes equal. That's what Dan Abrams, a lawyer, founder of Mediaite, also several other sites. There was a column that he wrote just 2 days ago called, he actually wrote it yesterday, called "The System is Rigged," which is why it's finally time to retire the Electoral College. So for the purpose of our conversation, I'm asking you the question. Do you believe, and I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're an independent. I'm asking you the question. Do you believe it's time for us to get rid of the Electoral College system. 844-736-7474, 844-736-7474. You get to weigh in when we come back on the Roland Martin Show. All right, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. I posed a question based upon the Dan Abrams column, and that is, do you believe it's time to get rid of the Electoral College system? Let's go to the phone lines. Let's see here. Regina from Maryland. Regina, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What's your comment?
Good morning, Ro. Yes, I think we should get rid of the Electoral College because then it becomes one man, one vote. And we have to go back to a six-stage strategy, which involves all the voters. But as far as this election is concerned, I think there were 4 points where Democrats actually lost it. The first was Obama picking Merrick Garland for SCOTUS. He should have gone both. He tried to reach out to Republicans. What do we get? Our hands are big. The second was Hillary choosing Kane. I like Tim Kaine, boring. She should have gone big with either Warren or Bernie. The third was the Obamacare premiums. I think that lost it in the suburbs for us. And then the fourth was the Comey letter. He's a Republican. Again, Obama reaching out. What does he get? It's a handstand. So I think now, Democrats, we need to hold the line. Obstruction, obstruction, obstruction. And that's all I have to say.
All right, then first of all, let me say this, Regina. I agree with you on your point about the selection of Merrick Garland. I said then it made no sense to me. I said then that I thought President Obama should have picked a black woman. You would have this contrast of the president picking a black woman for Supreme Court. That would have even done more to actually fire up your progressive base. Merrick Garland was a dud. To me, and certainly, and he tried to say, oh, how qualified he is, and he had his old campaign. Again, a dud. So that's how I saw that. And so bottom line is, I agree with you on that one. Bernie, here's the deal. I get when people talk about who he could have picked, who she could have picked. For the most part, a VP nominee plays no role, not really, in who is going to vote for the president. I just don't think so. I mean, I believe that this election was a complex set of factors that actually was rooted in the election of President Obama in 2008. But I'm gonna explain that another day to break that down. Right now, I'm asking about the Electoral College. Dorian in Philadelphia. Dorian, you're on Roland Martin Show. What's your comment?
Yes, Mr. Martin. First of all, I'd like to say that you and Steve Harvey are like the black voices, and I stopped following a lot of people on Instagram, Facebook, because they black voices don't matter anymore to me. But anyway, I think that they should get rid of that electoral college because it don't make no sense. The popular vote is a popular vote, and it just doesn't make sense.
Okay, I appreciate it, Dorian. Thanks a lot. All right, Hope in New Jersey. Hope, how you doing?
Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Roland.
Good morning. Doing great.
A couple things. I do agree with we should do away with the electoral college because everyone that gets out and supports their candidate and votes, their vote should count. People are in the rain, knocking on doors, working polls, and I think that it's only fair that or who the candidate that we're supporting, that our vote should count. But what I really want to ask you is, in New Jersey, there is a paper trail. In some states, there is no paper trail. Is there a possibility that the voting system could have been hacked into to give Donald Trump a lead?
I don't believe so. I can't answer that question, but I just can't. So I have to have faith in our electoral system.
Okay, and what was the outcome of the power surge in North Carolina that's supposed to have affected 38 polls? Did you hear anything about that?
I heard about it in terms of what was the cause of it. I don't know. I do know that you had the extension of hours there in Durham.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's go to Diane in New Jersey. Diane, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What's your comment?
What's up, Roland? This
Great.
is Diane from Hillside, New Jersey. Love you. Watch you this morning. Watch you every morning. The problem with our community, every community, Latinos, Blacks, all of us, we did not come out and vote. We thought that one vote, that one politician in our community was going to make a difference. And people, I was out throughout the town before getting people to register to vote in North, in Hillside, in Union, in Irvington, Essex County, Union County. People would say, oh, why do I need to register? It's not important. My vote doesn't count. It does count. People have to get the myth out of their head that your vote does not count. Every single vote counts. People did not come out. They underestimated Trump, and he did just what he said he was going to do. And what he spoke about was how he was going to help the people get the jobs back. And the people he was speaking to were those white male people who believed that their jobs were taken away from them and sent overseas by these big manufacturing companies. So he's talking to these people and they're listening. These are the blue collar workers that are listening, and they came out and drove to vote. They did voter suppression in my town. They moved polling sites last minute. They wouldn't tell the residents. They sent out these little tiny postcards. Some people said they got it. Some people said they didn't. I put out lawn signs to let people know that the locations moved. They moved it to a location that was so crowded, Roland. People were out and around the corner, did not want to stay. I had to encourage people to stay and vote. They did everything possible to stop the vote. And this is why I tell our people, our Black American people, that our vote counts. And that's why they fight so hard to stop us from voting and having a voice. Thanks, Roland.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Let's go to Danielle in Georgia. Danielle, you're on the Roland Martin Show.
Hi, how you doing?
All right.
Okay. With everything that's going on with this election and everyone seems to not be happy with the results, especially Black people, like, when are Black people going to vote themselves in? And if you don't like the results, then why not change it? Like, it's clear that we can build something, like we're building it for them. So when are we going to just do it for ourselves? We keep fighting to be in a system that we're not welcome in, and wonder why things aren't working for us. Like, if you don't like Trump, if you don't like Hillary, what I don't understand is that people sat here and watched both of them throw each other under the bus and had no problem with saying, you know what, I don't want neither one of them. I'm going to hold my own self down, my own family down. Because I done already built their family, so it's possible I can do it for myself. So what is all the complaining for? If you don't like it, do something. I feel like everybody complaining about Trump is an excuse to not put in that work. Black people are looking for people to baby them. And I feel like that's what they were looking at Hillary as, coming in as a mother to clean stuff up. They done had their Black president, so now we got mama coming in to hold us down. And we'll work our 9 to 5 to do our part. But we ain't got to do none of the footwork. It's boring. Like, do something, put in that work. Challenge yourself. Like, you're not happy, do something. This is the time now. I'm sick of it. Black people are lazy.
Okay, how are Black people, wait. How are Black folks lazy?
Because for one, every time something happens, it's like you're either dependent on the government or you're calling on Jesus.
Okay, hold on. Okay. First of all, explain that. How? Give me I want concrete examples. Not just I'm just throwing out whatever. what?
Like what? Okay. Something bad happened? You want to blame it on the devil?
Like what? No. First of all, I'm going to a break. I'm gonna put you on hold. I let you explain what you're talking about, because right now, what you're doing is making these broad assumptions, and I don't do broad assumptions. So hold on. You got three. No. I'm going to a break. You got 3 minutes, and when you come back, I want you to explain. Okay? I wasn't trying to go there this quickly, but I'm gonna deal with this when we come back on the Roland Martin Show. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Okay, so Danielle, I need you to explain. What you were talking about.
Okay. As far as the system, like, just look at it. We see it's messed up, and we keep fighting for a system that's clearly not for us. Like,
Okay, stop. Okay, no, you're talking these general terms. We're fighting for a system that's not for us and start our own system. Like what? Like what system are you talking about we should start?
what do you mean building ourselves up? Like,
What does that mean? Building ourselves up. So are you saying that black people should create their own nation?
Black people need to worry about themselves. We keep trying so hard to fit in.
Okay. Let me say it again. No. See, you all over the place. First you say that it's a system and we should build our own. Build our own what? I need specifics. I don't need.
Everybody mad about these results with Trump and Hillary. Okay, if you're not happy with it, then work on yourself.
Okay. Work on yourself. What does that mean?
Build your own shit, just like you built it.
First of all, do not cuss. First of all, do not cuss on the radio. Okay? We have FCC restrictions. Learn to talk without cussing. But build what? But build what?
Oh my God, is this a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question. You call black people lazy. I'm asking you, build what?
Build our own party.
Okay, so you're saying black people should build our own political party.
Yeah.
Okay, I spent 2 minutes trying to get you to offer a concrete example, and you finally came up with one. Okay, build our own political party. What else?
Okay, once we do that, yeah, like we got black businesses and schools and teachers and doctors.
Do you, Danielle, are you aware that black women start businesses at a faster rate in America more than anybody else?
Yes, I am aware of that. But at the end of the day, they don't fully own it. It's not fully theirs. They still have to.
Stop. When you say it's not fully theirs, they don't own it. Are you saying black people who own businesses don't own those businesses?
Come on now, we don't own nothing. Like, let's be real.
Okay, you say we don't own nothing. What are you talking about? Are you telling me?
We don't own over here. We settled.
What?
Oh my gosh. Like, if you don't get it, like this guy.
Danielle, you are not making any sense whatsoever. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I have no idea what she's talking about. Renee in New Jersey. Renee, you're on the Roland Martin Show.
Hi, Mr. Roland. How are you?
Great.
I almost didn't call in because I'm not very well versed on civics and politics. But it sounds like
It's all good. Take your time. It's all good. Take your time.
Okay. The electoral process, it just seems old school, kind of like voting on Tuesday. So I just feel like so long as it's not, you're not going to suppress any particular population, or if there's no negative ramification of it, why not move towards the popular vote? Because that truly is the essence of every vote counts. So my question, I just want to pose one to you: is there something that we can do to get the electoral voting in December influenced? I mean, is there something, because you're educated on it, you can help them. So is there
the only way to change that is you literally have to have a constitutional amendment that has to be passed, and then it has to be ratified by 2/3 of all states. Yes, a constitutional amendment.
When they vote in December, they can't just say, I'm voting for him.
No. I'm sorry. You're speaking of, okay. We're talking about two different things here. First, no. So what you're talking about is, okay. You're talking about the actual electors. Okay.
Yes.
There are some states that require the electors to actually follow the will of the voters in that state. Now, I read some story earlier where there are a couple of three electors who say they're not going to vote for Trump. That's also real. So it all depends upon what the law is in that particular state. Okay?
All right. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
You're doing your work. You're doing awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's go to Auntie D in New York.
Yes, this is Angie B.
Angie D. Okay, Angie, go ahead.
I was just calling in. I saw that you had a live show. I don't know if it was all political or what, but I just wanted to make a statement.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you realize that Let me ask you this question. What does 9/11 and 11/9 have in common?
The same numbers.
True. But 9/11 was a disaster, and so was yesterday. 11/9
Okay.
was a disaster. So I was just trying to figure out if someone noticed those numbers.
Okay. So you're into numerology.
Well, not so much numerology, but because 9/11 was a disaster, and for most of us, Donald Trump is a disaster. So yes, we want to give him a chance, but I just noticed that those numbers had a similarity to it. I just wanted to make that be known.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's go to Jay in Nevada. Jay, you're on the Roland Martin Show.
Hey, Ron, how you doing today, sir?
Great.
Well, I'm not as upset as I was the other day. I got a question for you. I'm looking at it, and I don't have specifics, so I'm asking for your input. If you could give me some other information. Impeachment. I'm looking at some guidelines, so I'm not in depth in reading the full characteristics of impeachment. From what I'm reading here, it's saying treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors, such as breaking laws, abuse of power, or violation of public trust. What are the specific guidelines for him to be impeached if he starts doing something that would threaten the United States of America? What, from your knowledge, can you give me some of this information?
Okay, you want my information specifically about what?
Impeachment. From what you know about impeachment.
Okay. Here's the first one, dude.
Do you have more in-depth knowledge of what would the guidelines be?
Well, first of all, what you just read is what's in the Constitution. But here's the other piece.
Right.
Who's going to get impeached?
Well, hopefully him.
Donald Trump is not. Donald Trump is not going to get impeached by a Republican-controlled House and a Republican-controlled Senate. Remember, when Bill Clinton got impeached, you had a Republican-controlled House. It failed in the Senate.
Right, and I understand that he's going to control both aspects. But do you think, and were you going to use logic and intelligence here, that even a Republican-controlled House and Congress would allow him to jeopardize the United States?
But you're asking me to talk about a hypothetical situation, which I don't do. We don't even know. Okay, I can't talk about a hypothetical situation when we don't even know the gravity of the hypothetical situation.
No, I understand that. And this time I'm coming with less knowledge than when I've called before, and that's why I was asking for your help.
Look, the bottom line is this here. When you talk about this idea of a constitution, when you talk about the impeachment, high crimes and misdemeanors is very subjective. That's the problem.
Okay.
It's a subjective discussion.
Okay. Let me ask this then. Let's say he.
I can't help y'all.
Has an uproar with China or North Korea, and he says, you know what? I want to shoot off the nuclear weapon at these guys. Now he has the control of the football. Does he not have to get approval before this happens? And would that not constitute a threat to the United States?
Well, there is a, first of all, that's a question of whether there's a declaration of war, which he has to ask Congress for.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I was just curious, and just so time I'm not coming with a lot of product information. That's why I was asking your help.
Okay. All right, Jay, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. All right, then. 844-736-7474, 844-736-7474. I'm posing the question, do you believe we should now get rid of the Electoral College? I'll take your questions when we come back on Roland Martin Show.
He's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the fine. And when it plays, he's right on time. And it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's some go, go, roll. It's Roland Martin, yeah. Rolling with Roland now. He's bone, he's fresh, he's real, the best, you know he's Roland Martin now. Martin!
All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. We are speaking about the Electoral College system. Should it be abolished? Dan Abrams, a Mediaite, says, yes, indeed, it should be abolished. That can only happen, though, through a constitutional amendment because it's in the Constitution. North Carolina, Walter. Walter, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What's your comment? Yes, sir. All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. Let's see here. Sheik in Georgia. Sheik, you're on Roland Martin Show. What's your comment?
Yes, peace. How you doing, brother Roland Martin?
Great.
Yes, first I just want to give a shout out to you, brother, for the works that you do. You had actually retweeted one of my tweets a few months back when I said Roland Martin, sure is school, have this school in the stars lately. And I had a link to a petition because my organization that I represent, the Morris Science Temple of America, was being conflated with some criminals and scofflaws in the news after some situation happened in Baton Rouge. About the question, so shout out to you, brother. About the question of the Electoral College, I believe that the Electoral College is fine, to be honest with you. And I try to look at things, I try to peel back the layers. So when I look at the fact that in these red states that always go red, it is a lack of our people in the populace. You know, that's the reason why we can never overcome these red states. And this goes back to issues stemming from abortion, if you will, right? You go back to 1973, more than half, for every one of our children that was born, one has been aborted. And that has been a 50% halt in population control. So I think there's some issues that we need to work out as a people, first and foremost. There's some things that we need to work out as a people in order just to get ourselves back on footing and back at the table with the affairs of men. Because if not, then we're just going to keep getting angry about these elections. I don't foresee a Democratic president for the next 8 years, unless Michelle Obama runs. And if Trump is successful over these next 4 years, I don't see how even she would do that. So my next point, I'm going to make it brief, is Farrakhan brought up something interesting. I was at their Savior's Day this past February, and he spoke about the Justice Party. And this is something that we're trying to make happen, just to create a third-party alternative so people can just build up trust between us and our Spanish-speaking people and those European Americans or whom you would all call white. Would that be something that you would support if it was done correctly? A third party, you know, just for people, just to build up trust. Would that be something that you would support?
All depends what's in it. I got to see what's in it first.
Oh, definitely. And that's fair. That's fair. Thank you, brother. I just wanted to call in and give my 2 cents.
Okay, I certainly appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. Let's go to Kevin in Houston. Kevin, you're on the Roland Martin Show.
Electoral College should be abolished because it's proven itself to be faulty and it does not reflect the will of the people. Second is, I think, this is the first election I have woken up to pin the needle, completely stressed. I represent a part of the GBLT community, and healthcare is a major concern. There are people living with HIV and AIDS that are living healthy, wonderful lives due to medication and pre-existing diseases that Obama pretty much abolished that. I'm going to say that the protection of that is so important because there are people that are on medication and drugs that cost between $20,000 to $30,000 a year. For that person who's going to expire or cancel, to be judged or to say that they have these type of preconditions will probably result in them not getting health care. Preventing them to have normal and happy lives. And that's one of the concerns that a lot of people have when it gets really built down, stuff like that. And that's where I'm at right now. That's the concern of the community. And it's terrifying.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. Let's go to Nicole in Maryland. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, good morning, Roland. How are you?
Doing great.
Great. Just to answer the question that you posed, in my opinion, any voting system that has the ability to manipulate the vote of the popular people should be done away with. Because to hand over the popular vote to 538 clandestine citizens who merely pledged to vote in the way that, for whatever candidate wins the popular vote for that particular state is just, in my opinion, irresponsible. Because they're not bound to vote that way. They only pledge to vote that way, but there's no law, there's nothing in the Constitution that says they absolutely have to vote that way. They can absolutely go rogue and vote in a different way. So I absolutely feel that they should do away with the Electoral College. I just think it's irresponsible to keep that system in place.
All right, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much, Nicole. Appreciate it. Travis in Virginia. Hey, Travis.
Hey, Roland, how you doing?
Doing great.
Hey, look here, man. First of all, to your question, yeah, they need to get rid of that. It's time for it to go. And if you allow me a chance, man, I want to rant about. You can feel free to stop me if you like, man. But this election right here had me very frustrated, and for a couple of reasons. The main reason is some of the ignorance that's coming from the Black community has to stop. It has to stop. Someone has to put it to an end. I had a friend who went on a rant and went on just a complete craziness talking about Black people need to stop voting. Don't vote, stop voting. This system is not built for us, it's not made for us, and we don't belong in this system. And I want all Black people to stop voting, take your vote out of the whole system. You know what? That's fine. Okay, you want to say that? That's fine. But right after the election was done and Donald Trump got voted in, the first words that came out of this man's mouth was, "We are doomed." Now, let me say this. If you're going to say that you don't want to vote and you're going to convince and try to go on this rant where he had over 50,000 some people listening to what he was talking about not to vote, and Black people are saying, "Amen, brother, preach, brother, Black power, do this, do that." Okay, great. Okay, great. But once the decision is made and the verdict comes in, you're going to say that we're doomed. No, you can't say we are doomed. You just said you don't want to be a part of this system, and now regardless of what you want to be a part of, you understand that you are. But you took away all of your rights, took away all of your responsibility, you took away everything that you had a chance to do or to make a point or to make a difference. You took those things away and you convinced other people to do the same thing. But then you have a problem with the outcome that corporate America, white America has made for you. That's ignorance. That's ignorance to the highest level, and it needs to stop. Also, we need to start getting some people in line, getting some people in positions to start running for us that have our best interests in mind. Because the interests of white America and the interests of Black America are not the same. They're not the same interests. I listen to a lot of my white friends talk, and their interests of what they have, which is most important for them, is not the same as me. They ask me, what are your important interests? My important interest for me personally would be equality. Why can't we have equality? No one's thinking about equality from the white standpoint. It's just not. So can we put some people in places to where we can start voting for the people who have our best interest in mind and stop a lot of the ignorance that we're talking about by not voting. Because right now, we could, listen, we had a person running up there, Bernie Sanders, who marched with the king. He marched with the king. We didn't get the support. We didn't get the people to turn out and come and put the person that we thought was the best supported us in the position we need to have. So let me rant, Roland. Keep doing your thing, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. 844-736-7474. 844-736-7474. Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe that you believe at the Electoral College should be dismantled? Should the law change? Let me know. This is the Roland Martin Show. Back in a moment. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. 844-736-7474. 844-736-7474. Should we abolish the Electoral College? That's the question I am posing to you today. Let's go to the phone lines. Shira in Florida. Hey, Shira.
My answer is yes, we should abolish it because of the fact that I don't understand what that guy was talking about with the red states, but that's especially the reason why, because everybody in the red states who voted blue, they're not represented in the Electoral College. And, you know, I'm from Florida. I voted for Hillary. I'm one of those people. And I feel like we have seen it consistently where you have the Electoral College and the popular vote in the last few years, in the last few elections, that they matched. But like I was one who voted for Gore in 2000, and it happened to me then too. So I do believe, because of the fact that you may have certain attitudes of people in the state that the majority of that state may feel a certain way, but when you're talking about on a national level, the other people who may not feel that way, especially in these close elections, their votes should not be lost once it comes to electing the president. So I do think that it should be abolished. And also, to the point of that woman who called earlier saying that black people are lazy, what I'm finding is that I have been seeing, I'm not saying every black person who voted for Trump believes like that, but I have seen a lot of black people who voted for Trump that carry those same stereotypes about black people. Like one woman was responding to Trump saying, "What do you have to lose?" And she's like, "Yeah, what do we have to lose? Because people are living under trees and on the streets." It's these negative stereotypes about black people, and it took me back to when you were talking about us having caring about ourselves, loving ourselves, and that is something also that I think a lot of black people are fractured in as well. And it was reflective in some people. I'm not saying everybody, but in some people's choice to accept Trump and his racist rhetoric and his generalizations and stereotypes of people. Some people went along with it because they believed it. So anyway, I do think that we should get rid of the Electoral College and go with the popular vote. Thank you so much.
All righty, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Let's go to Q in Ohio. Q.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you for taking my call. Sandy, yours, long-time listener, but first-time calling in.
All right, I appreciate it.
To answer your question, firstly, I believe that we shouldn't abolish the Electoral College. It's what we've seen today, or seen with the person with the most popular votes not winning the Electoral College. It's something that's only happened 4 times in our country's history. And so to me, that says that the system does work, that it does, that at least the Electoral College in itself does work. I wonder if, would people have, would the question even be asked if Hillary won, but she didn't get more popular votes than Donald Trump? I don't know if it would. I don't think it would, but I personally believe that the system the way it is fine. The reason why she lost, you already said that she's a flawed candidate. She didn't have the energy, to me, that generated from the voters that Barack Obama did. I think she got less votes than Barack Obama did compared to 2012. And the way, if you want someone that has your views and your beliefs, it's about getting the right people in there. I think Bernie Sanders probably would have beaten Trump, even though he's a little bit more left in the country. He probably would have beaten him. But
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't believe. I believe that. Here's the problem: the rage, the anger, the rage and the anger that Donald Trump stoked fit perfectly for Republicans, and Donald Trump was appealing to that base. That base feeling. Bernie Sanders would have offered too much compassion for them. Senator Bernie Sanders would have been seen as coddling Black Lives Matter. I just do. I see, people don't understand how deeply embedded race, class, and white privilege is. See, because here's the problem. Donald Trump attacked the Affordable Care Act. Senator Bernie Sanders defended the Affordable Care Act. Was there some overlap? Yes. See, you gotta understand something here. Senator Bernie Sanders was appealing to the equivalent on the left to who Donald Trump got on the right. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, folks on the right mad at Obama when it comes to same-sex marriage. They felt that blacks and Latinos were getting too much. Bernie Sanders would have been seen as too appealing on the issue of immigration. See, the right loved that. So you had all this battle that was going on there. And look, no one can say, really what could have happened there. But the bottom line is here, which I also said. So, okay, see, you want to open this can up. Here's the other deal. I believe Governor John Kasich could have beaten Hillary Clinton.
I agree with that.
But guess what? He didn't win a primary. See, we can spend all day talking about, well, this person could have won the primary. Senator Bernie Sanders didn't win a primary. He didn't win. Man, I spent 5 months trying to get the Bernie people to do black media. They wouldn't do it.
But don't you think that he would have he could have made up or at least equaled Obama in terms of...
Let me say it again. You gotta win the primary before you get to the general. Okay, what happened in 2008? Democrats feared John Huntsman running in the general election. It didn't matter because John Huntsman never got out of the primary.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, honestly, I didn't vote for either one of them. I'm just saying this as a person who has to.
No, I understand. But here's the other deal. Bernie Sanders also was an independent all those years. You had a lot of Democrats who felt that Bernie Sanders was hopping in at the last second just to run in the party when he was independent. See, man, that's the thing. It's a whole bunch of stuff that was happening here that people don't want to sit here and deal with. There you go.
Yep. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to talk to you.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling. 844-736-7474, 844-736-7474. Beverly, California, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What's up?
Yes, hi, good morning. Because I do believe it should be abolished. And one of my reasons, I have a lot of different reasons, but one of my reasons is because, let's say, for instance, my son turned 18 in September. He voted in November. Now, for him, and a lot of people like him, not just, younger people, a lot of people don't understand the process. So when they look at this whole election unfolding, the first thing they say is, well, wait a minute, how does this happen when they won the popular vote? And because of that, it becomes discouraging after a while, and it's like, okay, why should I vote? Because this person won the popular, but they're still not being elected into office. So, I can go all day about the different reasons, but that's one of the important reasons. I can honestly say that I'm 45 years old. It took me a while. I've always voted, but it took me a while to understand the process. So I had been in that position where it's like, well, wait a minute, they won the popular vote. What happened? And at the end of the day, it took me a while to understand and educate myself and understand that just because they win the popular, doesn't mean that they're going to win office. So it becomes discouraging, and then you have people on social media, you know.
Actually, hold tight 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go to a break, and I want you to finish your comment when we get back. 844-736-7474, 844-736-7474. This is Roland Martin Show. Back in a moment. No. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. 844-736-7474. 844-736-7474. Should the Electoral College be abolished? That's the question I am posing. Let's go to Florida. This is I'm sorry, actually, I'm going to hold on there, Tequila. Hold on. Did you go back to Beverly? Allow Beverly to finish her comment. Beverly, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'll make it quick. My whole thing is, at the end of the day, what bothers me a lot is the fact that I saw a lot of people on my timeline, black people are dead, this, that, the other, talking about the city, talking about Detroit and how black people didn't step up there. And it's hard because it becomes confusing because people don't understand the process. I believe it should be abolished because, that's one of the reasons why I believe it should be abolished. Because everybody's not going to go out there and try to, educate themselves and try to understand how the process works. And it becomes discouraging, and we start blaming each other. I just want to say I appreciate you opening up this forum because it gives us something else to think about, whether it be educating ourselves on the process. And so we would, won't start all of this, being disrespectful towards each other, blocking each other and everything in reference to not understanding it, and opening up this forum so that we can try to maybe, see how we can go about getting it abolished so that we won't have to, be subjected to this 4 years from now. At the end of the day, he's in there now. You opened up this forum, so now we have to think about something else instead of blaming each other for being lazy or not going out to vote. We can, try to see about this process on what we do now in order to learn how to, get this abolished, if we can,
Okay.
So thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Let's go to Tequila in Florida.
Hi, Roland. How are you?
Doing great.
Yes, I also think that it should be abolished. I feel that my vote should count. I don't think it really, for me, it doesn't really matter who got in office, who's president, who's not president. I just feel my vote doesn't matter. The more research that I do on the Electoral College, the more questions that I have about the process. The fact that we don't elect the Electoral College. The fact that they're elected by officials. The fact that, they don't necessarily have to vote for the candidate that pretty much what we're saying that Donald Trump is the president. Technically, only 26 states are pledged by law or pledged to states to vote for the president. The other states really don't have to. They can change their vote. They can be faithless electors, which means they can choose not to vote at all. So I think we really need to, the more we learn about the process.
Okay, so let me ask you that question. So if Hillary Clinton had won and that happened, and if Trump people chose not to vote for her and they voted for Donald Trump and he won the presidency through the Electoral College, would that be fine with you?
Yes. I feel that the popular vote should count. I feel like I've always felt that way. I've always had questions. Anybody who's at every election, I have that question to say, why do we even need the Electoral College? And that's something my daughter actually prompted in me. She's like, well, Mommy, this person got the most votes. Why didn't they win the election? So, I really didn't have all of the answers. I knew the Electoral College chose the president. So it's in that question that really prompted me to go back and do more research about the process and say, really, we don't need the Electoral College. That's really an insult. That's saying the founding fathers created this system because they didn't want us to they really didn't trust the people's ability to elect the president. So they established this elite process or these elite people to elect the president, just in case they didn't like the decision. So I really don't think we need the Electoral College. I think the people vote. I think we're smart enough to make the decision on who we want to be our president. If we don't want you as our president, does a popular vote count? I think that it doesn't matter who is the presidential seat. If we want you in there, I think that each candidate should campaign to everybody. You should not be just going to certain states because they have the most electoral votes and you're trying to get that electoral vote because, okay, this state is predominantly red, so I'm not going to go here, but I'm going to go here because it's blue because I want to turn red, or vice versa. No, you need to talk to me as a citizen of the United States. You need to speak to me directly, whether I live in one of those states or not.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Doug in New York. Hey, Doug, you're on the Roland Martin Show.
Hello.
Doug, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, for me, I think the Electoral College, it's an antiquated system. Just as the last caller said, because they're not elected officials, they can really vote for whatever they want to vote and whoever they want to vote for. But I also want to make a point about what you were saying, and I think that a lot of Americans were surprised at Trump, but I don't think that people really understood the deep-rooted issues that whites have in this country. They're looking around them and they're seeing their country changing color. It's changing race, it's changing economics, and they're scared. They're scared that they're losing their country because they don't have anywhere else to go.
But hold up. But here's the deal, though. Other people don't have anywhere else to go. Black folks have nowhere else to go.
You're right. We don't.
I mean, it's like, I understand that point, but here's the deal. Black folks are ticked off about depressed wages. Black folks are ticked off by not having jobs. I mean, here's part of the problem. All these broke white folks out here, they act like that life is just life is a picnic for black folks. I mean, it's like somehow like, oh, they're just so different from everybody else with their economic anxiety. No, these are also white folks who grew up in America where black folks had no opportunity, none.
You're exactly right.
And that to me is what's crazy. See, I'm tired of listening. Here's the deal. I am sick and tired of listening to all these media people. Oh my God, America has left them behind. Well, I'm sorry. Show me where in the hell America hasn't left black folks behind.
Well, I think the good thing about this is that for black folks, things ain't really going to change for us. We've been through slavery. We're strong people.
No, bro. Depending upon who's in his cabinet, his Supreme Court pick, his federal judicial picks. Nah, I am not saying that. And when we say black folks have survived this generation ain't survived slavery. So
you're right.
I'm not going to say that.
But it's our chance to become strong the way prior generations were strong against oppression.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Ella in Florida. Hey, Ella.
Hi, Mr. Martin. Thank you very much for taking my call. I just wanted to say, the Electoral College and whatnot, now that we want to protest it, trust and believe white America is not going to abolish the Electoral College. I mean, I think it's antiquated, it needs to be updated, but I think fundamentally we're missing a critical issue here with the Black community. Not everybody wants to come out and complain and cry. Where were they all when Donald was spewing all his hate? When Donald Trump entered the race, I got scared. And what did that do for me? I got up and I went out and volunteered for Hillary because I knew that was the only option we had. It got me so scared. I'm just still in a state of shock that he's president, And when I was out there volunteering, I would talk to young Black men, young Black women, and I registered voters down here in Florida. They was, oh, my vote doesn't count. Why should I vote? Oh, I'm going to vote third party. And I would say to them, do the math. Third party will get Trump elected. I said, Donald Trump does not care about Black lives or brown lives. We're not on his list of priority when he's in this presidency. We did not, at least Hillary, we were on her list and we had somewhat of a seat at the table. Where was the Black Congressional Caucus? Yes, they came out and did a press conference denouncing Trump when he, with the videotape and whatnot and all that stuff. But did they go back to the constituencies and protest and promote the Democratic ticket? No. So we have no one to blame but ourselves. Now we want to pivot and get distracted and talk about the Electoral College. No, that's not it. Black America, wake up. You need to go back and get educated. Get educated on the process, and you fight within that process. I'm I'm a naturalized citizen. And I tell you, I grew up with a military government. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be suppressed. And when I hear how they suppress voters in Wisconsin, in North Carolina, I cried. I've never cried in my life as much as I have with this election. You know, when is Black America going to wake up and take control of their own destiny? Donald Trump talks about a movement. Where's our movement to further our agenda for our community and for our children? Where is that?
All righty. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. 844. Thank you. 844-736-7474. 844-736-7474. Should the Electoral College be abolished in favor of the popular vote? That means whoever gets the most votes win. Give me a call right here on the Roland Martin Show. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. 844-736-7474, 844-736-7474. The question I pose to you, do you believe the Electoral College system should be demolished or should we keep it? Man, y'all been weighing in all day. Let's go right to the phone lines. John in Georgia. John, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What's up?
Good morning. And this electoral college issue, I think a lot of people, just because it's not taught very well in school anymore, don't understand the original purpose of it. And the entire purpose is to give the state sovereignty and to keep state power versus giving it all to the federal government.
Actually, that's not necessarily true. Dan Abrams, I read his piece earlier. Dan Abrams actually said that when they set it up, they did not want the common man to pick the president. They wanted the elites to pick the president. So therefore, they kept it in control of the states.
I can argue that one all day, but the fact of the matter is it's given to the state individually so that each individual state can sovereignly decide how they want to handle those electoral votes. But you're basing that. But is that what was the basis of it being set up? Because again, I've read actual documentation as to why they wanted it set up that way. It wasn't just state control. It was the elites in the state, rich landowners did not want the common man picking the president. They wanted to be able to control the process. I should probably break it into two separate issues here. So one would be giving each individual state control over how they proportion those votes, and the other being the reason for that. So what I'm focusing on here is each individual state having their own sovereign power. For instance, I'm from Georgia. If the Georgia State Legislature decided to change the constitution of the state to say that the Atlanta Falcons can decide who gets the electoral vote, then they could still do so. And the purpose there is so that each individual state has more power than the federal government.
Well, but here's the deal, though. Why can't we have one man, one woman, one vote? Why can't we have a system where your job is to persuade more Americans? I mean, that's what I understand.
Sure.
So why have, I'm asking you, why have electoral college system when if you simply go with whoever wins the most votes wins? What's up?
I will give you a caveat. I'm okay with that as long as you keep the actual points per state that are calculated towards the presidency at the state level as opposed to a national level. So,
but hold up, but that's the same thing. I mean, that's the same electoral college.
It's not the same thing. So right now, electoral votes can be decided by whoever they want to choose. If you change it to where the state of Georgia, for instance, where I'm from, you said those electorals have to be dedicated to, by state law, the popular vote of the state, then you still keep the balance of power between the state and the federal government. And then you're still doing state by state popular. Now, you can still come to a situation where the popular vote and the electoral votes don't get together, which brings me to the other thing I wanted to bring up here, which is because it's at each individual state level, there is no calculation and no method to calculate total popular vote. And anyone who is telling you what the popular vote is not going to extrapolate.
Hold on, stop. You said, wait a minute, hold on, I'm just trying to keep up here. Sure. You said there's no way to calculate the top popular vote?
There is no law, federal or otherwise, requiring there to be an actual calculation of votes. For instance, this is just a hypothetical state that has 200 registered voters in the state. All right, let's say you get up to 151 votes in that state. Unless there is a state law, and let's say that it was 101 for Trump and 50 for Clinton. Unless there is a state law requiring that district to continue counting, they can stop counting at that point and apply that percentage to what they think would happen to the rest of the count.
But the deal is though, you don't need a state law. If you choose to abolish the Electoral College and you go with a popular vote, you can, first of all, that has to be a constitutional amendment to abolish the Electoral College. But you can actually pass a federal law that requires, see, remember, there's a difference between federal elections and state elections. You could say for federal offices, you are required to count all
votes.
You absolutely could have. You're correct. And my point being that currently there is not. So anyone who's telling us they know exactly what the popular vote was is not being completely honest, because no one has had a full calculation across all states.
No, actually, that's not true.
Then I would love to see
Each state actually counts the ballots. So are you saying Georgia doesn't?
They are not required to. If you look at, once they get to the point of you can determine the winner, and at that point, it is not a requirement to continue. Well, now it varies from state to state, from district to district, okay? But at that point, they are not required to tell you. That's why if you go and check with specific states, they will tell you even at this point, a lot of them are still counting various absentee ballots. They're just reporting who won the election and what they think the popular vote would be. And then given the fact that we're talking about a very small margin of difference between the two candidates, no one really knows at this point who actually won the popular election. Anyone that tells you otherwise is not being honest in how they're coming up with that calculation.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, John.
No problem.
All right, then let's go to Debbie in Arizona. Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Roland, thank God for you. But anyway, I don't even understand what that man was just saying. Yes, I think they need to do away with that electoral vote, whatever that mess is. It should be what the people vote. And what is he talking about? The people vote don't count. I don't understand that. But it should go by the most popular vote. Whoever votes for the president, the popular vote, that should be the president. And I agree. Do away with it. Do away with it. It's crazy. And what is he talking about? They don't count the votes. What will we voting for if they don't count the votes? Isn't that how they elect the president? Counting votes?
Yeah. But he said, got you.
That's crazy. But yeah, they should go away and do away with that mess, because if the popular vote for the president, that's what should be, because otherwise our vote don't count.
Okay.
Thank you, Roland.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Okay, let's go to Cruz in Wisconsin. Hey, Cruz.
What's going on, Roland?
Doing great.
Well, I'm calling in today because the Electoral College actually, in my personal opinion, should be here. I feel like it should be voted on by common people, but I feel like what the Electoral College was established for was for people who are uneducated about what's going on about the election, about the candidate, and all of that, and that still seems to be going on right now. There's a lack of education about the whole system, how it works, the people, all of that. So I believe that is a necessary thing, but I think that should be controlled more.
Okay. Okay. All right. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks a lot. All righty. Let's go to, let's see here. Jacqueline in Nevada. Jacqueline, how you doing?
I'm fine, Roland. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I think that the Electoral College should be done away with, and the president should be elected by the people by the popular vote. But also, even if you do away with the Electoral College, it's not going to help if people don't get out and vote. I was very upset to see celebrities like Nick Cannon running around telling people not to vote. That's the most ridiculous thing that ever could be said. That's the one thing that angered me the most, seeing what was going on in the country and seeing people telling people not to vote. Oh, I don't have a pony in this race. Oh, neither one. There was never, ever a doubt in my mind who I was going to vote for. I wasn't over the top thrilled with Hillary Clinton, but there was no doubt in my mind when it became Donald Trump who I was going to vote for. Again, I just wanted to say I feel let down because we have over 300 million Americans here, and we're arguing over 1 million votes or 2 million votes. We should be arguing over 150 million votes, 300 million votes. And people say just didn't vote. And I think that is just the biggest slap in the face to all those that came before us, that we wouldn't go out and vote. So I do think it should be done and dated, but I don't think it's going to matter if people don't go out and vote.
Got it. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. 844-736-7474. 844-736-7474. Do you believe the Electoral College should be abolished? And should we go with the popular vote to elect a president? This is the Roland Martin Show. Back in a moment.
he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. Now when he thinks he's right on time, and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. What's loose upon the bed. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's a go, y'all. It's Roland Martin, yeah. Rolling with Roland now. He's funk, he's fresh, he's real the best. You know he's Roland Martin now. Martin.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. I have been posing the question all day. Do you believe we should? Do you believe that we should abolish the Electoral College system and go with the popular vote? That's the question I am posing. 844-736-7474. 844-736-7474. Give me a call. Love to hear you. Patricia, Virginia. Patricia, you're on the Roland Martin Show. You're on the Roland Martin Show.
Here I am. This is what I wanted to say to you. To the gentleman that called from Georgia, the history behind, and I am a history teacher, behind the Electoral College. 1787, when it was put into effect, the majority of people who could vote were, of course, white male landowners. All white males could not vote, only white male landowners, hence the word elite. Therefore, the majority of people were not literate of any color. So they felt that the common man was not educated enough of a voter to then directly participate in the selection of the President of the United States. Hence, they created the Electoral College. It is 2016. We are a literate electorate. It is time for the Electoral College to be abolished. One man, one woman, one vote. The only difference that will be made is that we will not get an instant tabulation of who is the president. We would have to wait. To his point as that he made about the count not being complete, he is correct. People, each state puts out a projection once they have a certain percentage of the precincts reporting. So yes, states are still counting, but most, once they reach a point of 70 to 80% of the precincts in, they then give a projected winner. Listen to the adjectives, listen to the words, and we can understand this. Now, white privilege, America is browning. It's inevitable. The world is majority brown. This is just a defensive mechanism against the inevitable. We must continue what we are doing. We must be politically savvy. We must stop attacking one another. Prepare for the next election and down ballot selections by coordinating, becoming politically smart, savvy, putting people in place that will speak to our issues and our concerns and who look like us. That is what everyone should do. Move forward from this point. This is a battle cry. This is a battle cry for us to do what we have to do, to continue doing what we're doing, but to do more. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. 844-736-7474. Shamia, Illinois, you're on the Roland Martin Show. Shamia, you're on the air.
I was calling because I wanted to say I think we should abolish the Electoral College. At
disabled woman, and I don't appreciate a president that doesn't represent America. That's not the point. That's not the founding fathers wanted. It's not there. One vote, one person. That's what it should have been. In 2016, people are much more educated now, and the purpose of the Electoral College reform was to keep people who were not educated, who were not well-owned, from driving down the country. And now, that isn't a problem. I don't understand what happened. I'm just shocked and teary, and as a woman with a disability, I'm just not happy about it. I just
Okay.
don't know how I feel. It should be over. It should have been over a decade ago. And I voted, and I don't know.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much, Shamia. Thanks a lot. Let's go to Leslie in Arizona. Hey, Leslie.
How you doing, boss?
Doing great.
Hey, I really think they should get rid of the electoral vote, and the reason why is because really the average person in the world don't even know what the electoral vote is. Everybody thinks it's the popular vote to get a president elected, and then just walking around talking to different people all the time and hearing people talk. This last election was just pretty bad. That you had some of the young people saying they wasn't going to vote or they was going to write somebody in and do stuff like that. That causes a lot of mess. And then they really should get rid of the third party candidates because they're never going to get in office anyway, and they just mess up the whole electoral system anytime.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man.
All right. James in Georgia. Hey, James.
Hey, Roland, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good. I was hoping that we can get rid of that abolish that system, and do away with it. We don't need that. Another quick question I was thinking of is when they use that code word, get rid of the establishment. I thought about that. The establishment is already established. They want to get rid of the establishment. They just have got rid of some of the people in the Senate, the representatives and the Senate. They've been there. They want Paul Obama for doing the things that he couldn't get done. So those are things I've thought about. And the establishment, the code word, I believe. Anyway, thanks a lot, and appreciate you keep doing what you're doing.
All righty. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. All right, man. Now let's go to Eric in Alabama. Hey, Eric.
Hey, how you doing, Roland?
Doing great.
All right, I have a comment. I think they need to get rid of the electoral vote. By everybody just being out here and not able to basically voice their opinion. I don't think it's right. And basically, that's why a lot of people do not vote that understand that, in my belief. Just saying in general, I don't think that a lot of people really know what the electoral vote is. I'm from Alabama, so I know most of the people here can't vote because they have felonies. And they, most of them been locked up or whatever. But it's a whole lot of things that's going on with other people that don't vote. And people that don't vote really don't believe in the system. And I just have a question, and I want to see what you think about it. How do you feel about the people that's voting? Well, how do you feel about the people that really don't vote? That's what I'm really trying to see. How do you feel about that?
People who don't vote are allowing their power to go untapped. Period. It is a joke that 49.5% of the nation did not vote in this election.
And I want to know your opinion on what is it that you think that Hillary was going to change?
Okay, gotta go to a break right now. I'll answer a question when I come back. 844-736-7474, 844-736-7474. This is the Roland Martin Show. Back in a moment. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. Should the Electoral College be banned? That's the question that we are posing to you. Let's go to the phone lines and get your answers. Cheryl, is it Sherelle from Illinois?
Are you saying Cheryl Wilson?
Cheryl, you on the air?
Hi. I'd like to say a couple of things. One thing, I do think this electoral vote should be banned. And another thing, I've been voting since I was
18 years old of age to vote. And now I'm 57 years old, almost 58, and I vote every election. And I was always told that you should exercise your right, but what good is it doing to exercise it if it's not counting for the president's vote? Now, I get it. We didn't even vote for Obama. We didn't have that luxury of voting for him. I mean,
okay. Who's we? Who's we?
We as the people of the United States. We had an election, but our vote didn't count.
Whoa. How?
Voting for him.
How?
It's the electoral vote.
That's not true. That is absolutely false. Your comment is false.
Okay, well, who does this electoral vote
Jesus. Okay, Jesus. Okay. What state? You live in Illinois, right?
Yeah.
That means that whoever won the popular vote in Illinois, they won the number of electoral colleges assigned. Got it?
Yeah, I got that.
There you go. So your vote did count because your vote determined who won the total electoral colleges vote. That's all.
But I'm okay. Who does the electoral vote?
My God.
Is that us?
Electors are chosen.
Okay.
But they are voting based upon the popular vote in the state.
Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Okay, so the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the Obamas have canceled a photo op with the Trumps. Now, first of all, I don't necessarily believe that. I'm gonna email the White House right now. Let me send this out right now. So I'm literally I'm typing. So forgive me. So I want to put this out there. Photo op. Wall Street Journal is reporting the Obamas have canceled a photo op with the Trumps. True or false? I see some of y'all saying petty. See, first of all, don't believe the hype. Okay, some of y'all don't believe the hype. That's why you confirm. Okay. Or deny. Let's check. All right, so I'm sending this right now. Click. Send. All righty then. That's it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Okay. Rachel in Texas, you're on the Roland Martin Show. Sorry.
We went late into the night and she had tests and things the next day, so we told her to go to sleep.
the next morning, Thursday, who won. When we told her Mr. Trump had won, it wasn't anger, but fear on her face based off the comments that she heard come out of his mouth, not what she read through media. She heard him say some pretty nasty things like get the baby out of here, put a wall up. There was a Muslim person that fought in the American War. He said crazy things toward him. So how do I explain to my child in a way that she will understand at 15 what her voice means? Because in 2 years, it'll be on her. And I have to say, I heard another caller say that he understood why some people decided not to vote. For the first time since I've been old enough to vote, I almost I voted myself, and I did. But it was my nephew who said, when you vote, don't vote against something, vote for something. And then he went on to say the reason he was voting was because his ancestors fought so hard for us to do so. And that convicted my heart, like, wow, I could not believe the thought even crossed my mind. But I almost not voted myself. But I want to know from you, how do I explain to my 15-year-old daughter what, in a nutshell, what electoral vote means and what her voice means as a person who will be voting in a few years?
Well, very simple. What you tell her is that in elections people win and people lose, and that the people who you vote for are always going to win. And what you tell her is that you don't allow one election to cause her to lose focus, to lose sight of the truth. You don't allow her to step out of this process. That you need her involved, engaged in this battle, pure and simple. That's what you tell her.
And one more thing, concerning Mr. Trump, you know, I'm as an adult, I'm afraid because I've been hearing, and I don't know how true it is. I'm not even afraid. I'm concerned that he's attached to a brotherhood, allegedly, and so they're more than endorsers to him. I'm concerned about the fact that he doesn't seem to have a filter. Where do you see us going in terms of his forwardness, his I don't know, he just seems like he's a robot that the Republicans and people have created, and I'm afraid this robot is going to go out of control and nobody's going to be able to control him. Almost like an Iraq situation where they had to bring the leader down. That's just my take. What do you think, Mr. Roland?
The deal is we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. And so we don't know what his presidency will be like. But our job is, if you are an advocate, our job is to prepare for that moment, prepare for that day. That's the deal.
And how do we prepare for that?
You plan, you decide what are the issues that you care about, and then you go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Let's go to Egypt in Detroit. Egypt, you're on the Roland Martin Show.
Peace and blessings, Brother Roland. At first, I'm just sitting here listening, and I found myself needing to call and express my opinion. I believe that from what I've learned from being a voter myself and what I've seen and learned from my mother, which was a very big advocate, just like you were saying in your family. My mother was the same way at the polls and everything, and I grew up with it. I believe that we do need to abolish the Electoral College. I believe we kind of need to regroup, and we need to have a better system. I think our system is old and outdated, and I believe we need to regroup. But I believe also the Electoral College, people feel that they don't need to vote because there is an Electoral College. If there's one man, one woman, one vote, then maybe people will feel more compelled to go out to the polls and be more involved in the political system. And the political ideas and things that are going on in our state so we can make better decisions on a federal level.
Hold tight 1 second. I got to go to the break. I want you to finish your comment on the flip side. 844-736-7474. This is the Roland Martin Show. Back in a moment.
Call 844-736-7474 and talk to Roland Martin next. We'll be back.
Can you tell if the surfaces in this kitchen are crawling with bacteria that could cause chronic arthritis? Listen. Can you? You can't see it either. Wash surfaces, utensils, and hands frequently with soapy water while preparing food, especially when handling raw meats or eggs. Raw food may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by cleaning with soap and water as you go. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hey, there he is. How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand or what? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke. Are you okay? I'm having a stroke. Your face looks weird too. I'm having a stroke. Are you having a seizure or something? I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately, because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs. Face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. You make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my life with you. You say it's seen, baby, since we've been together. Oh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come to. I'll never be untrue. Oh, baby.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show, 844-736-7474. Let's get right to it. Folks, we're talking about, should the Electoral College be banned? I guess y'all want to talk about this because lines have been full. All right, let's go to Maggie, New Orleans. Hey, Maggie, you're on the Roland Martin Show.
Hi.
Hey, you're on the air.
Yeah, I just feel like that any election in the United States should not be interfered by outside entity or as a foreign country. Okay? And the electoral vote, they should be banned. Big time. Because if our votes really count, why they have to go by the electoral? Get rid of the electoral and let the people vote be their voice. We don't have a voice if everything is based on electoral. Okay? And then on top of that, Donald Trump, the whole while Donald Trump was preaching about building a wall and Mexico gonna pay for it. And we all know Mexico is not gonna pay for that wall. Now I seen on CNN this morning where Rudy Giuliani was saying that, oh, the taxpayer is gonna pay for the wall all of a sudden. But your whole campaign, his whole campaign was about we're gonna build a wall and Mexico is gonna pay for it. But now this morning they're talking about, oh, we're gonna pay for it. How is that fair to any of us when you say Mexico is gonna pay for that wall? And to me, really, another thing about it, it's corrupt interference when you letting these foreign entities play a part in our election. Donald Trump is running for the highest office in the United States. Okay? He's not a politician. He's a reality show host. What is wrong with the people of America? America have always been perfect. It's the people in the United States that have the issue. And it's based off of the color of one's skin, who got the most money, and it should not be like that. If we all can look for further than the color of one's skin or the color of one eye, America would be greater than what it is, because it's not about who got the most money and white, whatever they be saying, white privilege. Nobody have privileges in America, and it should not even be that way. We should love one another, which I know that's not going to happen. But people need to turn around and get themselves a reality check with that white privilege. Nobody has privilege. You get out here and you work for what you want. And nobody has the right to try to obey in anybody's life talking about some white privilege. When you know right, you do right. When you know wrong, you do wrong. And it's just sad that some people feel like they have a privilege because of their skin color. Okay? So, and another thing, one more thing I want to say, they keep saying, wash out the swamp. Wash out the swamp. To put a more corrupt swamp in place. When are we going to learn as Americans that we can do better by one another by showing each other respect? You understand what I'm saying? And yes, that electoral college, it needs to go. It needs to go big time, because I feel like that's one of the reasons I am not voting anymore, because my vote really does not count. And thank you for taking my call, and I love your movement.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how we keep this thing popping. You know, you gotta keep driving this thing. You gotta keep pushing people to the next level. And that's what we all about. That's what this show is about. That's what we believe in, and so that's what it boils down to. All right, folks, let's go to my next caller here. Angela in Ohio. Hey, Angela. Angela.
Yeah, Roland, I'm here.
Hey, you're on the air.
Okay, listen, I got a question. The Electoral College, how is that determined as far as each state getting so many electoral votes for each state? I don't understand that. I always understand electoral
proportion. As proportion, it's all based on proportion of population. Just like you have members, just like you have a number of members of the U.S. House based upon population.
Is based on population of the number of House representatives that are in Congress? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. According to the population. According to the population. So that's how they assign. That's how they assign the number. Okay.
The number of electoral votes for each state.
Okay.
Because I'm in Ohio, we get 18. California gets what, 39? I mean, that's a lot. I'm trying to understand.
Okay.
With the Electoral College. They're not going to do it. That's automatic. That's in there.
Okay, first of all, here's the deal. The Constitution refers to the number of electors. Okay, the number of electors. Okay, and so that's what you have. There have been a number of efforts made to stop, to get rid of, to stop, to replace this so-called Electoral College. Okay, so each state, the electors vote in the state capital. Each state also decides whether or not the electors will vote in public or if they'll vote in private. Okay? Gotcha. So, say it again. That's
who they are.
That's based upon that state. That state, because right now you have the same thing in the U.S. House. Okay, here's the deal. Each state gets the number of electors based upon the number of U.S. senators plus the number of House members they have. Got it? No, there are two. No, there are two. Every state gets 2 United States senators. Okay? Every state gets 2.
Okay.
So it's 2. So if your state has 15 members of the House, your state will get 17 electors.
Okay.
Got it? And the number of your House members is determined by your state's population. So 6 years ago, Texas got 5 new House members because their population increased.
Okay, it goes about population as well.
Yes.
In the state. Okay.
Your population determines the number of House representatives you have. Every state gets 2 U.S. senators. Okay?
Okay. I didn't understand. I didn't know that it was about population in your state as well. I guess when so many people leave your state,
then you lose House seats, which means you will lose Electoral College votes.
Okay. That's something we got to keep up on. We got to understand that.
Call civics. It's called civics. Yep. It's called civics.
I'm not here. Say that again, civics.
I said it's called civics. I got you.
Right.
All righty. I appreciate it, Angela. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Roland.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Crystal in Florida, you're on Roland Martin Show. How you doing?
How you doing, Roland Martin?
Great.
I wanted to let you know that I've been watching the races like really close. I've been watching like CNN, MSNBC, and all that, and I got so fed up, and I started watching. I look at you all the time as well, but I wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you doing the show on election night. It was wonderful. It was good to see it from a Black people's perspective and what we had to say. I can't even watch the other outlets anymore. But the other thing is that I found myself being so upset about this. I must have cried like 3 times. And the thing is like being Black in America, it's like you already have a suspicion that white people are racist against you. It's like you had that even though you want to believe everybody is just good-hearted. And I guess when they elected Trump, it was like, wow, this is what, like I know that this is what America is, but wow, you guys are going to actually put this man up here like this. And I'm just like, we got to have 500 degrees and 10 years of experience to get a job, and this show they could just go there and get the job. And I just can't believe people just say it's okay. It's just blowing my mind.
All righty.
But that's all I wanted to say.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Thanks for calling. 844-736-7474, 844-736-7474. Should we abolish the Electoral College? That's the question I am posing today on the Roland Martin Show. I will come back for my final break. Last chance for you to comment on this topic. Give me a shout. Be back in a moment. All right, folks, welcome back to the Roland Martin Show. Final segment. The question I've been posing all day, do you believe Electoral College system should be banned? Gerald in New York, you're on the Roland Martin Show. What's your comment?
Gerald, you on the air?
How you doing, Roland? Number one, I love your show in the morning, and I love your radio show. And so it's like you're having said to learning a lot of stuff. So to answer your question, I think that the electoral vote should be abolished because a couple of things. Number one, it defeats the purpose of people going out to vote in the first place. I mean, people knocking on doors, getting this thing going, getting people to go out and vote the polls, etc. And I happen to live in New York, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's not enough senators to actually vote for the electoral vote because there's more people. The popular vote seems to be more than the senators to vote.
No. Correct? No. The number of electors your state receives is based upon the number of U.S. House members in your state plus your two senators. So since New York is a populous state, that's why they get the number they get. That's why Wyoming gets fewer than that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. But I think the electoral vote should be abolished because of that. I mean, because our votes count because of that. You know, and in history, if you look at the last 50 years, everything was changed. The popular vote was more considered, with the exception of Al Gore would have been president, as opposed to Bush.
Gotcha.
And Hillary would have been more, would have been considered much more. But that's my take on it. So.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to Sammy in Texas. Hey, Sammy.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Hi, Roland. Thanks for taking my call.
Many of the issues that this great country faces. And I believe that it is important for all of us, regardless of party and regardless of political preferences, to now come together, work together to deal with the very challenges that we face. And in the meantime, Michelle has had a chance to brief the incoming First Lady, and we had an excellent conversation with her as well. And we want to make sure that they feel welcome as they prepare to make this transition. Most of all, I want to emphasize to you, this President-elect, that we now are going to want to do everything we can to help you succeed because if you succeed, then the country succeeds. Well, thank you very much, President Obama. This was a meeting that was going to last for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and we were just going to get to know each other. We had never met each other. The meeting lasted for almost an hour and a half, and it could have, as far as I'm concerned, it could have gone for a lot longer. We really, we discussed a lot of different situations, some wonderful and some difficult. I very much look forward to dealing with the president in the future, including counsel. He's explained some of the difficulties, some of the high-flying assets, and some of the really great things that have been achieved. So, Mr. President, it was a great honor being with you, and I look forward to being with you many, many more times. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. All right, folks. 844-736-7474. 844-736-7474. Let's go to D in Florida. D, you're on the Roland Martin Show. How you doing? Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Florida, here in my state,
could have gotten that if we all would have went out there and voted. I also know people that didn't vote. Oh, well, I'm not happy with any of the candidates, so I'm not going to go out there and vote, or my vote don't matter. And that's a false narrative. Your vote does matter. Everybody needs to go out there. And I think that we thought that, no, they won't let this person who seems like a racist, or this person who says all kinds of negative things and talk down to women and Muslims and Mexicans. No, they would not vote him into the White House. But we were wrong. And we did not go out there and show up in numbers like we did for President Obama. And that's why things happened the way they happened. I know, because she was close here in Florida. She could have won Florida if we went out there and we would have went out there and showed up in numbers. Another thing, maybe you can talk about this on your show. Donald Trump, or President-elect Donald Trump, was talking to white America when he says, "Make America great again." Well, what America are you talking about, Donald Trump? You know, I mean, for Black America, I'm sorry, I believe that we can probably relate. Maybe America was great when we've got our first Black president. Okay, maybe that's great for us. But if you're talking about America was great back in, 1950 or 1960, when most Black Americans, especially in the South, was under Jim Crow laws, and other parts of America was under segregation and under oppression. I'm sorry, I don't think America was great for Black America. I believe that Donald Trump, you're talking to white America, and he did. He spoke to white America. And you're right, we do need to prepare, because they did. When the Tea Party came out, after President Obama, and the Tea Party said, "Let's take back America," you know what? Donald Trump, he spoke to that. He spoke to that Tea Party. He said, "Let's make America great again." And he spoke to white America, and he also spoke to white supremacy when he was talking about that. And you know what they did? They went out there and they showed up in numbers. You know what we did? Oh, we got it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to vote him in. And we got caught. And look what happened. It happened.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much.
And if you could stop on that, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. James in West Virginia. Hey, James.
Yeah, a simple question. Does that depend, electoral, does it depend on how many Republicans and Democrats? What if there's more Democrats in an electoral?
Doesn't, no, what are you talking about? More Democrats. It's not based upon party. It's based on, the Electoral College is based upon the number of House seats in your state, plus
and who sits in those seats? Who sits in those seats?
Members of the U.S. House, members of Congress.
Human beings. And if they prefer to vote Republican.
No, you're not. You are missing this. It's not based upon if you have 20 House Republicans in your state or 5 Democrats. It's just the number.
Okay. Okay.
Just a number. It's just a number.
All right. All right.
So if your state has 20 House members and you have 2 U.S. senators, your state will get 22 Electoral College votes.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot. Civics, folks. Civics. Miss Williams in North Carolina, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Roland?
Great.
I'd like to make a comment, please. I don't see why why as African Americans we don't just give Donald Trump a chance. You're hearing negative. We don't know what he'll do. Every year we hear the same thing. Every year we hear if somebody gets in there that we don't want to be in there, we say that, oh, it's going to be bad for us. We are the most church-going people that there is. I do not see, and we always say that God will provide and God will take care of us, but we're not practicing what we preach. So I don't see why we just don't give Donald Trump a chance.
How about because we heard what he actually had to say?
I heard what he had to say. It's a lot of things that we can learn from Donald Trump.
Like what?
See why we have to complain about
because maybe people actually listen to what he had to say and what his critics have to say.
I think we need to give him a chance. That's what I think.
Okay, well, it would have been nice if the Republicans in Congress had given Obama a chance when they plotted his.
People gave Obama
No, they didn't. They didn't. No, they didn't. They plotted, Miss Williams, they plotted, the Republicans plotted on the night of the inauguration to stop anything that he did. I called Miss Williams. Call back tomorrow. I'm literally out of time. I got to go. Y'all have a great day on the Roland Martin Show. Have a good one. Peace. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. All right, I'm out.
Can you tell if the surfaces in this kitchen are crawling with bacteria that could cause chronic arthritis? Listen. Can't, can you? You can't see it either. Wash surfaces, utensils, and hands frequently with soapy water while preparing food, especially when handling raw meats or eggs. Raw food may contain bacteria that can make you very sick, or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by cleaning with soap and water as you go. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.